Aren't you just ready to boogie? You guys are great this morning. Thank you so much. Are you having an opening song now?
Yes, we do.
Oh, wonderful. I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Oh, wait, here.
You can sing where you know the words. Some of it's repetitive.
Or even if you don't know the words, it's okay.
Sing.
Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward, no more bending the dog, whatever it is. No, nothing's moving, ever upward. My soul is the ground. My feet are leaving the ground, yeah. Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul is laid in the ground. Woo! Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. That's right. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
Wow! Look at that interesting.
Oh, I'm so glad somebody else makes little boo-boos during something that not just me anymore. That's good. Oh, that was beautiful. Very uplifting. Very uplifting.
Good for a laugh.
Well, I'm Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell. I'm a practitioner here, retired from full-time ministry, but being a practitioner here, and I love it. Welcome you here where we we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. And I'll be telling you a lot about our offerings in a few minutes. We have some classes and events coming on that if you've been holed up too long for whatever reason, you'll be here 5 days a week, maybe 6, if you want to just really jump in to your advancing your spiritual knowledge, but most importantly, being with a group of friends, because that's how you make the best friends around here, is you participate. So I encourage you all to do that. All right, we are going to invite the children forward, and as we do, Lindy at the soundboard is going to move the camera around, and so you can wave at the camera to all those wonderful people out there. the children just went out if you'd like to join them. Welcome. All right. I'd like to thank all the other team members that came this morning to get things ready, especially the musicians. They've been practicing since 9 o'clock. They're really good, like they needed practice. But and Doug and Ronnie are not here today. They've been our standard bearer, ushers and greeters. They're at a family wedding back east, and so really happy for them to take that break. We have the kitchen cookies who right now are making tea and coffee. And there will be a cake because we have some new members to honor today. And the cake has all their names on it. So you want to get back there quick and see their names and see who they are and welcome them, please. All right. If you have a cell phone, we'd appreciate it if you would turn it on airplane mode or silence. Thank you. And if you're new with us today, we have a friendship packet, a welcome packet, and Jan is there with Jane Parsons with our welcome packet. Anybody new wanting a packet? There you go. There's another one, Jane, and you already have one. Another one? Okay, we'll get them. One more over here. Nope, there. Jane. Roy. One more. Yes, thank you. It's a big Well, we're really glad to have you here for sure. And such a beautiful day. We have a meeting, practitioner meeting after service, but if you want to go out and look at the grounds, we have 3.5 acres here. We're on Churn Creek. We have a children's cottage, which is where the children went, and we have a meditation pavilion and a nice grassy area for weddings and things like that. So, and guess what? It's all paid for. Every bit of it. So that's the best thing, because who paid for it? We did, all of us together. Anyway, it just warms my heart when I take people around and share that with them. They go, "You got to be kidding. You actually built this building?" Uh-huh, we did. Anyway, I could go on. All right, we're going to welcome new members, Reverend Sue.
Drum roll, please. The anticipation. So these 4 people, the names that I'm going to call forward, have been visiting our center for a while. You might recognize them. And they chose to attend. Mary, I'm just so thankful for her dedication to offering an essence class 1 month and then alternating what it means to be a member here. And she has dedicated her time on Sundays to do that once a month. And just by attending those 2 classes, these people have decided that they want to be members. So I'm going to invite Tim Anderson forward. Tim, come on down. Be known. I call him Tim Jim because I can't remember if it's Jim or Tim, so I call him Tim Jim. It's both, you see? Yeah, I'm not too crazy. And I don't know if Clayton's here. I didn't see him yet. He might show up in a little bit. And Susan. Yay, Susan. She is phenomenal. You will see her just about at every event. She's got so many talents. So you'll be seeing more of her because I'm going to probably have her read. I'm going to probably have her do a whole bunch of stuff. And and returning to our community is Jessie, recommitting. Jessie, you want to come forward? I love this woman. Yeah. And you might be wondering, I thought these were already members. You see, that's what family does. There's no separating us all out. But there's a high calling when you become a member here because you take the center to heart. You really choose to want to support us in every way and become part of the family and part of the solutions of things that come up around here. So I really applaud you and you, Mary, for guiding them into their decision. And so we have letters for you, and Mary has a little book she wants to offer. Do you want to say anything, Mary, or because you were with them?
In 2012, 13, 14, Sue and I were both we were co-senior ministers. And I wanted to, because I was in charge of admin, I wanted to know everything about everything. And I went through every piece of paper in this building, in the attic, everything. And I thought, this is such good stuff that I wrote a book. And I've got everything in here from 1971 to 2014, who was who did what, all the activities, who was practitioners, ministers, and everything about this beautiful center and how it evolved to what it is today. So I want each of you to have one of these because you're going to find it really cool. Our first minister, before he met Earnest Holmes, was a Baptist minister.
So now your part, everybody, is to go welcome. 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Thank you. You know, while I'm up here, we might as well do birthdays in August before we forget that. So, August, birthdays, will you please stand up and make yourself Annie?
Focus announcements. Now, all these are in your program, and there's a lot of them because so much is happening. For instance, this week, you only get Monday and Tuesday off. That's it. You want to be here, you want to learn, you want to get spiritual, you want to make friends, you want to laugh, you want to have a good time. All right, but first is our nourishing our community.
Yeah, hi, I'm Diana. I'm here again this week to just remind you that the most fun social event of the year is Revving Up. The month of August, we are accepting applications to sponsor an event for nourishing our community for 2023-24, really for the next year. We're looking for 12 individuals or couples or groups of couples, friends, to step forward and offer a fun event that involves an activity and food. And you pick the date, you set the number of people and the place, and then let me see, what is the date that the bidding starts? Anonymous bidding starts September 10th. We'll have a big display set up in the foyer where you guys can bid for a spot for that event. And the bidding goes on for like a month because the list gets long. And say the event has 5 people, well, once we get to number 6, the number 1 guy gets bumped off and he has to bid again. And it just keeps going and going and going. And your bid can't go up like $100. It only goes up by $2 or $3 a time. 2 last year is what. So it starts out with the minimum, and you can go $2 higher, and then $2 higher. And at the end, when we close the event, the last people on the list that bid the most will be the people who seat at that event. And you don't know who they are because it's all anonymous. It's all done by number. And so you show up to your event with your host, and you go, oh, I know you, but I don't know you. And then by the time the event's over, you do know them. And it's really fun. So what I need, I'm going to be out in the foyer by the bulletin board. There's a little application that you have to fill out that tells us what your idea is, your date, and what your minimum bid is, and how many people you want. And then Lori and I take it from there. We create posters, we set it all up for bidding, and it is really fun. So come see me and sponsor an event.
There you go. That's fun. Some of them that we've been to have been really wonderful dinners at someone's house. We had a walk around our wetlands at the area where we live, followed by lunch. Some people do a hike up by Mount Shasta and have a lunch. Or anyway, there's all kinds of fun things to do, and you just get to create it and then see how much fun it is to have people over that you don't know or want to get to know better. All right, and so now we have SOAR, another really fantastic group. Come on up, Cher.
Well, SOAR was started in 2007, so we've been, 17. We've been soaring almost 7 years. And SOAR stands for Spirit of Adventure Renewed, and we do the 75-mile radius around Reading. So we go all 4 directions. And the next SOAR adventure will be this Saturday coming up. And in your program, it says that we're going to do the lakes of Lassen. And the only correction I have, it says Terrace Lake, Cliff Lake, Manzanita Lake, and we'll also go to the Loomis Museum. And then it says Shasta Lake, but that's Shadow Lake because the Star Trek transporter is not available yet. So we won't be transporting all the way over to Shasta and then coming back to Lassen. But if it was available, we could actually do that. The other correction, we're determining the best time to do our full moon kayak. The moon is actually full September 29th. Your program says the 30th. So we're trying to determine, do we really want to go full moon, or it rises an hour later on the 30th, and Sue will let us know. And that's to be in coordination with the center. Thanks.
All right, tonight we have the Gong Meditation with Joan Richards, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And Thursday, I'm doing a caregiver support group Thursday morning from 10 to noon. Keep each other all charged up and feeling positive and moving forward. And then on Thursday evening from 6:30 to 8:30 is Awakening to Oneness with Life, which is a meditation with Jill Matthews on Thursday. And also then on Friday is the Spiritual Music Jam, which is just a blast. And there's all kinds of drums and noisemakers and whatever, 7 to 8:30, Friday, August 11th. We talked about SOAR. All right, Landscape Save-A-Day, Saturday, August 12th. If you've noticed, we had so much rain this spring that there's a lot of things to be done and keep our landscape beautiful. That's Saturday, 9 to noon. And then our practitioner, Christy Carr, has a Beads and More workshop Saturday, August 12th from 1 to 4. And she supplies all the beads, everything you need. And they're having a really great time doing that. And then on Sunday, August 13th, I have a Exploring Membership meeting that's right after service for about an hour about what we are, how we work, what it means to be a member. Also on Sunday, August 13th, is the New Moon Circle. The theme is energy with Lori Buckman. And the herb she's focused on, she's a real plant person, amazing, is Trillium, which is spirit into matter. 15 female attendees, ages 12 and up, let's just say that, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And then on Friday, the next week, August 18th, is the Crystal Bowl Sound Healing Bath with Irene Bulmer, 6:30 to 8. Hopefully that's all there for you, and Cher corrected a couple of things on the SOAR announcement. So there you are. Now we're going to have a reading. Lori's going to do that, our office master. Yes, she's a master of just about everything there. And then we'll have invite the bell 3 times, and that is to take the message that you hear from her and just put it in your heart and feel the impact of it. And then I'll do a spiritual mind treatment, which for new people is our form of affirmative prayer. And then we'll have Sue's amazing message, which is awakening to your passion. Should be fabulous. All right, Lori.
It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking for a fool, for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own. If you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. Uriah House, Dreams of Desire.
My passion is God. That infinite intelligence that created all of this magnificent universe. And each one of us as unique individuals. Each having a passion of whatever type, whether it's a craft or whether it's an artistic dance, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whatever moves our heart so that it's on fire with the love of God, the love of life. I know we each have that because God's passion is us. Free to be who we want to be, who we're meant to be. Free to do what lights our life on fire. Free to create heaven or hell every day in our life. So I accept for everyone here their passion is on fire today in one way or another, maybe just in the mind or just in the activities of the day. I know mine will be. And I give such great thanks that there's such a variety of ways to live and enjoy and celebrate just being alive. Joy is a gift of God. So is love. So is smiling. Heart-to-heart connections. It's all part of the one mystery, and yet the one made known through everyone we meet and everything we do. So I let these words pass into the ethers around us today to remind us how passionate we are in some aspect of our life that gives not only to us but to others in a joyful and loving way. And so it is. Miss Passionate.
Thank you. That was well said. I don't need to say much else. So, good morning again. I'm Reverend Sue. I always get really happy when the 360 band comes, don't you? It's just like, well, thank you. They just amuse me in every way. How smoothly they can sing a verse or bumble a verse, it doesn't matter. It's just pure passion, pure joy. You know, and then other times it's all so exquisitely perfect. I just want you to go on forever. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to serve us in such a powerful way through music. That's what we always hear when we do surveys. What would make this center really shine? What do you want? Music, more music, music, more music. Less talk, more music. Thank you. So this message, this month, we turn to, the whole theme is my passion, my purpose. All month, we'll be looking at that throughout the Centers for Spiritual Living. And today, looking at, in particular, what is it for you to awaken to your passion? So yesterday I did, Shirley and I had done our quarterly SAGE workshop, and it was about life completion. And starting it off, I don't think Hazel will mind me sharing this, but it was just so humorous because I made some kind of statement like, life completion, I want to not feel guilty about, this is what I was sharing, I don't want to feel guilty about not dusting as much anymore. And then Hazel goes, oh, no, dust to dust. She said, no, those could be my relatives. Leave the dust alone. And I thought, I just so amused by that. I thought, so I want you to go home and look at the dust and just go, thank you. Hello, my ancestors. Hello. Yeah, it's so freeing. That's so freeing. That's what happens when we share the time with each other in these classes and these workshops, dust to dust. So as I look at something that really continues to point to our passion, I see this quote from Teresa of Avila, and she said, the most important thing is not to think much, but to love much. And so to do whatever best awakens you to love. That's all. You might think living out your passion is something very grandiose, but it's not. Are you loving is all. The question comes back to you. Are you loving? So we begin there. What awakens you to love? And not to think so much. But look more deeper into what is that driving energy? What is that in me? What has been a passion, a longing, an energy that has been pulsating through me since I was a mere child, longing to be expressed? And it's a part of love and joy. It's part of the God qualities of life and light. So remember the pure innocence of joy, pure joy. Because when we allow ourselves to connect with that level of enthusiasm in our heart, that which we witnessed, yes, we all witnessed it as a child before our woundedness started to infuse the walls of limitation in our being, allowed into our consciousness and made us feel smaller as we grew older. God infused us, Spirit infused us each with this passion. So as I share some of my own personal journey, I want you to reflect on yours. What was something that continued to turn your attention as a child? What did you get lost in? How did time disappear for you that you didn't even hear the call to come home? Because you were so invested in the moment and in the pure joy. Because when we realize that we grow up and some of that disconnect begins to separate us from what was, from that passion. And that passion then can tend to withdraw into our shadow, and it can lay hidden except in our dream states. Or it can be that I was describing also yesterday to our group, it feels like I have these dreams all the time that I'm not finishing something. There's something I need to be doing. And I'm anxious. And a lot of times it's nursing stuff. I can't get to my patients. I'm a nurse again, and I don't have my license. And they don't know that. These anxiety dreams. And so I think, I was passionate about nursing. I was passionate about being that since I was a small child. So I understand that. So this free-floating anxiety of what is mine to complete now? What is that fire burning inside of me? Because this creative passion becomes something that can appear to be unexamined unless we stop and really allow it to fill ourselves. It can feel misplaced by thinking that we have to go do something. I need another list. I need to go do something. And then we feel guilty because we're not doing something. Oh my God, I read a book today. Oh, should I have? Or should I have been busy? Oh, I stared outside way too long. But that's passion calling us to be still and to know. So watch for these stirrings because they remain in us always. So I ask these questions. What do you want more of? What is more of something that will satisfy this wandering, burning desire to be a part of something or create something, be something, do something, serve someone? Passion's driving that, and joy spontaneously arises inside of us when we realize that I have a fleeting memory. I think I know what to do. It'll pass through you, and you'll catch the wave of something that stirs that energy of excitement inside of you. I'm about to live my dream. And passion and joy, you see, it dovetails. It goes hand in hand. They're inseparable. So as we break this down, I want you to remember as I tell my story, you tell your own story. So I invite you again to this question: what was your favorite activity of play as a child? I played teacher, I played nurse, I acted in really hokey, silly plays that my sister and I made up. I spent hours creating imaginary community with stink bugs and ant colonies. That's now I see you all as that. I carried a matchbox around with an imaginary house for my imaginary flea. Who does that? But that was so sacred. And to me, I would open up that box during, we're supposed to be listening in class, but I'd open up that box and just, hello there. And I'd have a little couch, picture on the wall, a lamp, things fleas need. I'd close the box and start to listen again. I rode my bike everywhere. I loved a good trip to the hardware store. I was going to read every book in the library. How many of you can relate to that? Every book in the library. Love the smell of a library. Love the smell. And now my house looks like a library. So I watched this because every book seemed to have a magic potion in it that said, now I need to read more. I need to read more. I need to know more. I'd lose myself in a mountain stream, and as I would climb the boulders around it, I'd feel free and excited for every summer vacation, but just as eager to start school again. I would climb trees as high as I could and get lost in my imagination of wonderful adventures. And I knew I could save all those in distress. Again, I stand before you. It still lives in me. It's still, these things drive me. I didn't mention that I like to tinker around with broken things. I don't have the patience. I don't like to bake or cook. I don't like sports. I don't like word problems. I didn't like history. I didn't want to build anything. I didn't want fancy things, and I didn't even want to really learn an instrument. Piano was put upon us, and I mastered Puff the Magic Dragon and Tennessee Waltz. And then I felt like I'm complete. So whenever you sing Puff the Magic Dragon, I'm there with you because, in fact, Judy, if you ever want me to take over on the keyboard. And so all of these things, though, I invite you just to watch. It might feel silly, but watch what pokes inside of you, because they are moments that are calling you back home. As I got older, my passion for yoga and the mystical understanding of what is the divine captured my soul. And to this day, it lives on in me. I pursue it at every avenue I know. I look at the spiritual things in life as my greatest passion. And a tree itself still has a message for me. It's very sacred, and though I'm not climbing them anymore, I lean into them, and they speak back to me. So we ask these questions. We can ask them tirelessly. What is God? What is healing? What is truth? What is love? These are the curiosities that shaped me into a guidance of love that infused every passion that I lived out in my life. So we pursue our passion, and they refine our way. So that was my memory lane. Now you sit and wonder about your passions and let it unlock something in your subconscious. Let it trigger and watch the physical felt sense. Watch the bubbles of joy in your heart, because I know you all had those moments of wonder as a child. And you're now allowing something more profound to be revealed to you as you sit and listen with yourself. And so this month, I'm really excited that we each start to feel a fresh new energy related to passion. Let it awaken in you. You all know, as I've mentioned so multiple times, that I loved being a nurse. It was the best job for me. I could meet and I could care for people one-on-one. And then though I was very shy about it in the beginning, I did become a yoga teacher, and I found myself continuing to explore outside my comfort zone. I was pulled and pushed by the passions. And then I found the science of mind philosophy. Touched a little bit of it in 1970s, and then when I came to Reading, it was always like you get those synchronistic moments where your hygienist just says, "Have you been to the Church of Religious Science?" No. And then you find out that later she's a practitioner here, and then I met Andrea and James. They invited me to teach yoga at a retreat, so I had to go buy all kinds of outfits to go teach yoga at the retreat. And from then on, a very deep bond from that very initial retreat happened with this center and with Andrea and James from all those years ago. And then I was soon steered into ministry just to complete the next step. People sometimes say, how long did you know you wanted to be a minister? I don't really want to be one, but I am one. And so what I enjoy about ministry is just like being a nurse. I meet you one-on-one. I meet you there at the heart. And that's what I love. That's why I'm so grateful to have achieved a ministry in my lifetime. It's an opportunity that I recognize that when I was a little child, I knew this. I knew, and I've shared this before, but I knew at the time if I could speak to Eisenhower, there would be world peace. If I could just get his ear, because I had something to say. And when Charlie and I took our marriage vows and we stood before you, and one of the commitments we made was a vow we will continue to serve this center in the name of peace, to find peace, to speak peace, to demonstrate peace. And that has driven our marriage to continue to be in that place of service. The inner child in me knew all along, speaking peace, and the principles of this philosophy support it wholeheartedly. So in your story, stop and reflect on your timeline of life. It's not as elusive as you might think, so spend time, I encourage you this week, to daydream about it and find the line of discovery. Earnest Holmes says, life will be to you what you are to it. Somehow you must link your will, your thought, your intellect, your imagination, and your feeling with the divine presence which is already there. That divine spark, born in you the moment you took birth. Ours to realize, ours to reignite. It's been dampened down or choked down by some of the weeds of our experiences. They have led us to maybe feel doubt and insecurity. Sometimes we had parenting that enforced us in the idea that you can't do or be what you most long for. You can't be that. How will you make money? How will you survive? I want to shape your life in this direction. But the whole time you wanted to go the other direction. So remember today that you do have a conscious knowing of what you're called here to do. This great universal consciousness that we speak of is in tune with you. It's in touch with the vibration of you, inspiring you. It's why life quickens for you when you're near your dream or when you're near your passion. It will make your heart sing. So you can feel when somebody's walking their walk in that. I look out at Irene Bulmer, who does the bowls, the crystal bowls. She's lost in it. It's her passion, right, Irene? It's a passion that she brings to all of us. And we just lay down, immersed in the sound, and be healed. The same happens this evening with the gong meditation, a whole different experience. But you let the vibrations take you, and you step in. It's so beautiful. You step in to someone else's passion being expressed. This is the divine spark. So keep remembering. When you start to find yourself in the free-floating doubt or insecurity that you already know, this great universal consciousness is in tune with you and inspiring you. So it'll light you up. It's going to stir the juices. It is stirring the juices in your being. So if you watch yourself start to shrink back again, it's just an old habit. If you're shrinking back from what's calling you, rise above. Keep on going higher. You know, the song will start to sing through you. So this is choosing today. I'm going to cultivate the light. I have a light. I have a light. I have a spark that I've dampened down, but I know it. I feel it as we're listening here together. And the whole energy in this room is looking for that radiance of light. And we long to be the expression of that ourselves. Never feel inferior. Someone might be doing it better. Good for them. But never let it dampen your own light. You're doing it your way. So never feel that you were born without any talent or opportunity. Cultivate whatever talent you have. Allow it to grow and refine it as it expresses itself through you. Become aligned with the true expression of who you are in this life. That divine light never gets tired as we tap into it. So yesterday also in the workshop we explored the other end of this. So at the beginning we looked at our childhood, and now we look at it looking back and looking in at what is now. And we realize, who are we now? That many of our passions seem less doable. Our attachments to remember how we used to be, what we used to look like, versus the idea of, who am I? Am I really looking at myself as who I am now? Am I clinging to a past identity? And I'm blocking my heart now. I cannot see who I am now. What is our purpose now as an elder? Maybe it isn't about sharing your wisdom if no one's asking. But we come to the conclusion it's all about a legacy of love, lived out and continues to live in us. That is your purpose. What is your unique expression of the divine or the one mind? What qualities have driven your individuality in life? Remember the times as a child. A parent or an elder would ask you what you wanted to do when you grow up, and you would share it so wholeheartedly. I think of my son Chris with this little Superman cape. Yeah, I'm going to be a policeman. And I think, ooh, very good, but you're so thoughtful and kind. I can't see you being tough. I didn't say it to him, but in my mind. But he is a police of spirit now. His what he grew up to be is very disciplined and very kind, and he reaches out to all people. He just reaches across in service. He knew that that cape would be with him forever and give him the superpowers he needed. But sometimes we would share what we wanted to be, and the adult will just pat us on the, isn't that special? Isn't that special? She's going to be a nurse. Isn't that special? And then you'd think, yeah, it is special. And then they'd say, well, what are you going to do to make money? As if that was the driving force. And then a divide began to shape. It happens so innocently, no parent means to do that. So what I wanted to share with you is this beautiful book, I Will Not Die, An Unlived Life, Reclaiming Purpose and Passion by Donna Markova. Just this simple message that she shares with us. And on the aside, this little bookmark kept showing up out of nowhere. And I kept thinking, what is this? But I could use it. So I decided to read it. It says, as I am strong, I am grounded, present, and living my life with purpose. Oh, thank you, God. There it is. I should copy it all, make you all a bookmark for it. But listen what she says. Like most kids, so she's taking you back, I had a secret place. I used to skip to the reservoir behind her house, hide in the reeds that grew on its shore, loved to pick just the right pebble, put all my good feelings into it, toss it into the clear green water. I watched that good feeling ripple until they touched all the shores. I could very easily imagine sitting there with my chin tucked snug under my knees, that someday when I was grown up, I'd be able to create ripples of good feelings all the way to South Africa, which was about as far as I could imagine. And those ripples would make the world a better place. When I was a woman in full stride, I was still secretly trying to make ripples. I never mentioned it to anyone, but every once in a while, I did something just because my heart rang yes, as if someone had tapped a secret tuning fork. Ripples, whatever we do, has ripples that spread to the other shores. Such a beautiful, beautiful thought. She says, most of the Western world is caught up in doing, becoming trained to do in order to, so that in some distant time we can be. Enough of that. We can be now. We can be now in the present moment as we continue to remind ourselves that we are choosing now to live a heart-based life, not being divided so much by the analytical mind. Einstein had made a very important, he's this wise man that was able to flip into his left brain and into his right brain and live this powerful life that's given us so much enrichment. He says, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited. Imagination embraces the entire world, stimulates progress, gives birth to evolution. So I'm going to invite Judy up, and in a few moments I'll invite her to start playing. But inspiration comes. Remember this. If you're feeling like, I'm not quite getting this message, it comes when we slow ourselves down. Give ourselves space. Allow yourself to listen a little longer to anyone else. Listen to their dreams. Listen to your own daydreams. Allow that spontaneous flow, just as you were younger, to give you free range. Go outside and play. Go on the soar adventures and play. Don't be shy. Allow yourself to go ahead, make up a make-believe world with adventure and lose yourself in it in full abandon. Let us no longer stress on all that's going on and the activities all around us, because remember, What you put your attention to, it becomes so. So we turn to the adventure of the heart, and we allow ourselves to work with that deep layer of passion. Ernest Holmes says, if we feel, this is what I'm talking about, if we feel that we are just simply onlookers and not participating in the game of life, now is the time we should rediscover the youthful spirit of that childlike joy that gives us energy, happiness, security, and faith that we had as a child. Do not be limited. It's not about what you should be doing here. No. Let's stop. Let's go deeper. Listen to the music. Let it take you inward. Feel yourself going down that staircase of love into your own being, to that inner drive, calling you to be fully alive, to live wholeheartedly. No longer are you going to be giving your power away, not trying to please anyone along the path. You're reclaiming your inner passion and your joy. It is time. It is time. Listen to this poem. Living wide open. I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which came to me as a seed goes on to become a blossom, and that which came to me as a blossom goes on as fruit, living wide open. So we are deeper into the heart space. You have been listening. Here's the question from Parker Palmer to take deeper into your prayer life. Is this the life I am living? Is this the life I am living? The life that wants to live in me? Think about it. You know the answer. The real you knows the answer. So we take this into prayer, and we shift into a knowing that we are absolutely aligned and infused with the divine power, the divine call to say, be love. At all costs, be love. No longer react to life, but respond with love. As Cher Matthews would say, love is all there is. And love is all there is. And as we unite in that field of love, we become powerful, passionate beings on this planet, allowing the ripples of our experiences to spread to all the shores, out into the universe, into the stars. We create an energy, a power that is life-changing, life-giving. So thank you, God. This center is indeed what we refer to it all the time. This is a lighthouse. This is a lighthouse of love. We call the community in, and we guide each other. We listen to each other. We help each other. We love each other. So thank you, God. We understand, and we walk our walk together hand in hand. Thank you, God. So it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Some think the world was made for fun and frolic, and so do I.
And so do I. Some think it well to be all melancholic, to pine and sigh.
To pine and sigh. But I love to spend my time in singing some joyous song.
Some joyous song. To fill the air with music bravely ringing is far from wrong.
It's far from wrong.
Hearken, hearken, music sounds afar. Hearken, hearken, music sounds afar. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la.
Joy is everywhere. Tra la la la, tra la la la.
On me, 'tis strange that some should take to sighing and like it well.
And like it well. For me, I have not thought it worth the trying, so cannot tell.
So cannot tell. With laugh and dance and song, this day soon passes, full soon is gone.
Full soon is gone. For mirth was made for joyous lads and lasses to call their own.
To call their own. Hearken, hearken, music sounds afar. Hearken, hearken, music sounds afar. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. Joy is everywhere, funiculi, funicula. Hey!
Now it's the offertory. Yes. Oh, well.
All right, it's time for the offertory, and I'd like to invite the ushers forward, please. Come on. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la. All right. Oh. As we prepare to give our offering this morning, our hearts are filled with love and joy and appreciation, because what is offered here is for our spiritual well-being. We're filled with gratitude, knowing that life stays in balance as we give and as we receive, and so it is.
Love is something if you give it away. Give it away. Give it away.
Love is something if you give it away,
you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, you'll have so many. And all over the floor. Oh,
love is something if you give it away.
You give it away. You give it away.
Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more.
Money's dandy and we like to use it, but love is better if you don't confuse it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it.
And lock up the door.
Oh,
Love is something if you give it away.
give it away, give it away.
Love is something if you give it away,
You end up having more.
So let's go dancing till the break of day. And if there's a piper, we can pay. For love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Oh, love is something if you give it away. You give it away, you give it away. Love is something if you give it away,
You end up having more.
What are you doing?
We changed key on the.
That's how it works. Love, joy, happiness. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. We give thanks for these blessed donations received this morning. And I know every dollar supports this spiritual family in so many ways. We grow together, pray together, sing together, and give thanks for all that the center has blessed us with today and always. And so it is. Thank you. After service, Shirley and I and Charlie, 3 practitioners will be there by the bell. If you would like an affirmative prayer, or check in with us if there's something that you would like to discuss and how Science of Mind fits with all that, we'll be there for you. Right now, we'll have a closing song, and I bet it's going to be a real hot one. Yeah?
Okay.
We'll have fun. Okay. Please stand up. Let's have fun.
Think of your fellow man, give him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. I know it's getting late, oh, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, another day goes by until the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Just put a little love in your heart. Take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. Oh, I know when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Yeah, everybody. Put a little love in your heart. All of us. Put a little love in your heart. Oh, yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Just put a little love in your heart.
Oh, your heart wide open. I want the new members to scurry back to get the cake before the rest of the little piglets go there, because we have been without the social hall for several weeks, and we're going, there's cake, I'm starving, there's cake. And Charlie wants to take a quick snapshot before the names get blurred. And thank you all for being here. Next week, Charlie and I leave for a week. We're going to Chicago. Oh, Chicago, yeah, the Parliament of World Religions. So we'll be gone for a week, and Reverend Heather Hennessy will be our guest speaker next Sunday. So lovely woman, charged with her faith and her being a humble servant to her journey in the spiritual world. So enjoy that. Enjoy this week. And I'm going to take a few moments. If you were new here today, I'd like to meet you so you can come on forward, and I'll just say hello. So anyway, thank you.